Guys, welcome back. It's one of my favorite times of the week. This is the NFL Week 14 episode of Gimme Props. I am your host, Luke Shuey. Every week, I break down every single game in the NFL Sunday card, give away free picks, hot takes, parlays, little ride or die at the end, best bets, which is equivalent to a max bet. And if you have been watching, sincerely, thank you. Please like and subscribe below, of course, to continually get updates on when my weekly show airs. If you haven't been watching, good thing, because now you are. Now you are watching. We are on fire. Last week, the show went 7-4 with big profit yet again on official free plays, including a plus 250 parlay. That's right. Thank you, Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers, for fading them on their stats. We cashed a big parlay there, and I had a best bet, max bet, Josh Allen under 31.5 pass attempts. Cruised to victory, no sweat there. And then if you extend back over the last 3 weeks of the show, this is truly tracked for transparency. As you guys know, I admit when I lose. But we're hitting at 24-12 on the last 36 plays. That's 67%. All for what? Full free. Let's run it back again this week. Count your blessings in life, guys, because we only get one life to live. Cheers. From my house to yours, this episode of Gimme Props starts now.
Seahawks at Falcons.
Buckle up and let's ride. Game 1, Seattle Seahawks heading to Atlanta to take on the Falcons in this NFC matchup. Seattle finds themselves as a touchdown favorite yet again. Sam Darnold and company just getting it done this year. Total in the game sits at 44.5. The game doesn't really scream offensive fireworks. Both defenses have shown spurts of just really good play. I have to lean here on a strong Seattle defensive front. They rank second in the NFL in rushing defense overall in terms of yardage allowed. And I don't think that anyone on Seattle really fears Kirk Cousins in the passing game. He's not mobile at this stage in his career. He's a drop back, 2 or 3 seconds and out kind of guy. I think Seattle does everything they can possibly do to shut down Bijan Robinson in this game. Bijan, I love you, but this is a fade line through and through by the books. Listen to this. The books dropped his rushing line 17 yards from last week's game, despite him going for 142 against the New York Jets. That's right. They lowered his line by 17 yards despite rushing for 142. That is one of the strongest moves you can see by the books for a top player. Very strong underline here, so we follow suit. It's as simple as that. Follow the numbers, follow the narratives. We cash. Take Bijan Robinson under 66.5 rushing yards. First official play of the show. I almost got excited and said it too early. Book it, baby.
Bengals at Bills.
Next up on the card, we flip over to the AFC. It is the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. That's right. Party tables being smashed by Bills Mafia. This is a game you kind of have to have circled as a potentially great matchup. We've got Joe Burrow back. We've got Josh Allen. Bengals look competitive as they beat the Ravens last week on Thanksgiving in Baltimore. And the Bills, they've been hot and cold all year. Last week, I mentioned this at the top of the show, we smashed our best bet, max bet on the show was Josh Allen under 31.5 pass attempts. I told you guys that the Bills don't win when he throws 30 or more times. It's a pretty simple formula. This week, they moved his line down because they saw us coming again. On that stat, I think he's down to like 27 or 28 pass attempts. So we're staying away there. But I have a trend that I love again for Josh Allen. He's thrown for very few touchdowns this season in road games. But look at his home stats. He crushes this line at home in Buffalo. He's thrown for 2+ touchdown passes in 5 of 6 games at home this year. That is an 83% hit rate. Sign me the fuck up for that trend against a pretty bad Bengals defense. Pardon my language, but I'm fired up here. Take Josh Allen over 1.5 pass touchdowns. Book that shit.
Titans at Browns.
We have the Titans heading to Cleveland to take on the Browns. You heard that correctly. We have the Titans. We have the Browns. I can't help but laugh because this is just not a good football matchup. The game's going to feature 2 teams and quarterbacks that are simply trying to not embarrass themselves. It really should result in a pretty low-scoring game, you have to think. And an under at 42.5 total in the game looks pretty tempting. But I'm the prop master. I got to go with a player prop, and I can always find value in the game in some capacity, even in shitty games. And this is a good overline for Tony Pollard here. Let me break down some stats for you. He averaged 6 yards per carry last week against the Jaguars in a loss. He looked pretty solid. and he has not had 13 plus rush attempts. That's right. He has not had it in the last 7 weeks. Yet, Books increase his line on the rushing attempt line here significantly, all the way up to 12.5. That has not been the line considerably here in the past. Strong tell here. So Pollard, he's almost taken exclusivity in the backfield here for Tennessee on running plays. He's going to hit the over here. Take Tony Pollard over 12.5 rush attempts. Meet me in the mall. It's going down. Meet me in the club. It's going down. Meet me at the window. It's going down. Anywhere you meet me, guaranteed to go down. Take Tony Pollard over 12.5. Catch you at the window.
Commanders at Vikings.
Next up on the docket, we have the Washington Commanders heading to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. And despite their 4-8 record, Minnesota finds themselves as a 2.5-point favorite in this game. Over under, similar to what we just had, 42.5 points. If I was looking at the game, I'd have to lean under again. Two bad offenses, similar matchup as we just talked about with the Titans and Browns, but not quite as bad. So I do have a fun fact. I kind of love, these stats about the Vikings quarterbacks because they're just getting worse and worse. So Vikings QB struggles have to be a major storyline here. They're a major storyline of the entire NFL this season with J.J. McCarthy's failures. And then Max Brosmer filled in last week. He threw 4 interceptions against Seattle, somehow performing even worse than McCarthy has this season. Last week, I told you a fun fact was only Jamarcus Russell has ever had worse stats so far in a season than J.J. McCarthy. And Max Brosmer, his QBR was 32 on Sunday. That's right, a QB rating of 32. For perspective on how bad this is, if you didn't see this stat, if you were to just go out there, anyone watching the show, myself, if I were just to suit up in the NFL and take us every snap in the game and spike the football like I was stopping the clock, you would have a better QBR than Max Brosmer on last Sunday. You'd have a QBR somewhere in the range, I think, of like 38 to 39. His was 32. He is that bad. All right, enough Vikings QB hate. On to the free pick here, and it's pretty straightforward. We're 2-0 this season when picking the first play from scrimmage as a run in a specific spot. And we're going to look to extend that streak to 3-0 here with the QBs being worse than what with Minnesota's QBs being worse than if you were to just spike the ball. They're going to run here. They're going to line up and run it on that first play from scrimmage when they get the ball. They almost certainly have to hand it off given the circumstance. We are going Minnesota Vikings, first play from scrimmage, run. Enough said. Cash that ticket and on to the next.
3-point spread winners posted daily on ylose.com. That's the letter Y, LOSC.com.
Dolphins at Jets.
Next up, an AFC matchup, Miami Dolphins, Tua and the Dolphins against Tyrod Taylor and the Jets. This is an interesting one. Both teams been pretty bad this year, but Miami's trending really nicely. They've won a bunch of games lately, and all of a sudden they are still alive in the playoff hunt. But this game's likely going to go as you'd expect. We are fading the QB position. Last week, guys, remember we cashed Tua's under on his yardage. Because I told you, Miami's now a ground and pound team. They just simply are. They're not going to put Tua's life at risk. They don't have the receiving weapons as they have in the past. Their chance to win is through Devon Achane on the ground. So we're now in the New York cold. Tua doesn't love the cold. So let's hammer it back. But this time, it's a combo. We're combining it with Tyrod Taylor, the opposing quarterback, as a combo fade here. I want you guys to take Tua and Tyrod, so it's both quarterbacks here, to both go under 220 passing yards in this game. Should be around even money, maybe just slightly juiced to the under here in the combo stat line. So both teams are going to run the rock. I love it. Let's bang it home. That's what she said. Book it, baby.
Saints at Buccaneers.
Next up, we have the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, NFC South division rivalry. Before we get to that, guys, if you haven't signed up, there's a link in description, $99 for all my NFL plays for a month. That is the rest of the regular season. And maybe I'll even squeeze in the first week of the NFL playoffs. Hit me in the DMs. Always willing to work with you guys on discounts. But $99, link in description, or continue to follow me for free. That link's also in the description for my free picks Telegram thread. Enough there. Continue on with the show, Shuey. This matchup, this NFC South battle, really looks nothing like it did back when Drew Brees was quarterback. Expect New Orleans to throw more picks than a bad Tinder match. That's right. I don't have any confidence in the Saints passing game. And I don't expect Tampa to sweat much in this one. They're 8.5-point favorites. What I really expect to see, though, is Baker Mayfield working on some in-game chemistry with Chris Godwin. The veteran wideout is going to be a critical piece for the Buccaneers passing game heading down the stretch here as they battle for the division and possibly make the playoffs, trying to make a surprise run there. But this is Godwin's third game back from his recent injury. He's accumulated 78 yards last week on 3 catches. He's really usually not a deep ball threat. He's more of a Keenan Allen type, if you will. Move the chains, good hands, great at running routes. That's a great reason to take his over on catches here. I love Chris Godwin over 3.5 receptions, and let's cash another one.
Colts at Jaguars.
Next up, we've got the Indianapolis Colts and Danny Dimes heading down to Jacksonville to take on Sunshine Trevor Lawrence and his Jaguars. Honestly, I don't really know anybody that would have circled this game preseason as a Week 14 matchup and said, guys, those are going to be 2 8-4 teams battling for the division and looking like both playoff teams. So, but here we are. Both teams looking great. It should be a good one. Colts are slight road favorites here. They're still dangerous on paper, but Jacksonville's momentum and swagger might make them the favorite to spoil the party here at home. So I see it being a really close and physical game. I don't think they're going to ask Sunshine Trevor Lawrence to do too much in this game. He's averaging just 25 pass attempts per game over the last 5 games, and that the Jags are 4-1 in that stretch. So what that equals to is something very similar to my Josh Allen take last week, where the Bills don't win if he throws 30-plus times. The Jaguars do not win very often if Trevor Lawrence is throwing 30-plus times. So all that equates out to smash the under on his pass attempts here. Take Trevor Lawrence under 32.5 pass attempts and thank me later.
Steelers at Ravens.
Another good matchup here. We've got the Pittsburgh Steelers with some locker room issues potentially. Aaron Rodgers speaking to the media last week about his disappointment against the Baltimore Ravens, coming off a loss as well to the Bengals on Thanksgiving. What we're used to in this matchup is being an incredibly physical rivalry, if you look historically, with hardcore defense, but it's a bit different this season. Both sides actually struggling a bit on defense and injury plague this year. Lamar Jackson has not looked good since returning from his injury, and he now has 0. That's right, a goose egg, 0 touchdown passes in the last 3 games. But that said, he did have kind of 2, secret ones, if you could say so. They weren't on paper. Last week he threw 2 touchdown passes, great balls, but they were both called back. One due to penalty and one due to an overturned call. So, anyway, still a goose egg through 3 games. All that to say, I think it's a phenomenal buy low for his touchdown passes. He's coming into this game with a little bit of an ankle injury. I think this favors his pocket passing, and the offensive coordinator likely to throw some easier, quicker completions, dial up some plays there. Look for Lamar to have a nice game against the Steelers secondary that has allowed the 5th most passing yards per game this year in the NFL. Take Lamar over 1.5 pass touchdowns, and that's right, it's plus money. It's currently at plus 105. Book it, and book it.
If you like free picks and you want more, go ahead, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you click the bell. This way you never miss a free pick from the team at whylose.com.
Broncos at Raiders.
We have the Denver Broncos taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. And guys, this is the parlay game. If you had it circled, this is the one. It's the parlay game. Last week, we smoked 2 unders in the Bills versus Steelers game. We cashed a ticket at plus 250. And now this game, I've got 2 great looks for you guys. First, a Brock Bowers fade, but it's a unique one, kind of a niche play. We're going Brock Bowers' longest reception is under 20.5 yards. So he surpassed this in the one game he played at Mile High against Denver earlier this year. But the key was it was his only catch against them, and it was a broken coverage on the play. Other than that, they literally held him to no catches the entire game. They keyed in on him as the Raiders' best player, and I expect them to do it again. Take the under there. And on the other side of the ball, the flip side, I've been really impressed by R.J. Harvey and what he can do as a starting running back since J.K. Dobbins' injury. They're clearly confident in him, giving him double-digit carries the last 2 games. And we cashed, and he's on my good side. Let's be honest. We cashed our plus 1,500 anytime tutty parlay last Sunday night with RJ Harvey getting into the end zone twice. I think he's going to soar over his yardage line in this one. Super strong line by the books, posting it well above what his season average and recent performances were. That is RJ Harvey over 49.5 rushing yards, so 50 plus. Just a quick recap. Brock Bowers, longest reception, under 20.5 yards. RJ Harvey, over 49.5 rushing yards. Put them together, dial it up, plus 250 parlay. Book it.
Bears at Packers.
This is the NFL's oldest rivalry. Chicago Bears heading to Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers. And newsflash again, I will be in attendance this week at Lambeau Field on Sunday. I'm super jacked up. It is the game of the week. Again, NFL's longest rivalry and a massive matchup here. Chicago and Green Bay are battling not only for first place in the NFC, but the number one seed is also completely up for grabs in the NFC, which is currently Chicago. So a lot is on the line here in this game. And the Packers open as strong favorites, 6.5-point favorites, despite the Bears being the number one seed. And the books continue to disrespect Chicago. So moral of the story is the books are saying Chicago is overrated. I tend to agree, but they've been playing awesome football. And last week, they absolutely shoved the rock down Philly's throat. They rushed for 47 times for 281 yards on the ground. I mean, the fact that Philly, with their defensive front, allowed 281 rushing yards is honestly just incredible. Credit to the Bears on that. But Green Bay does have a top 10 run defense. I think they're going to do absolutely everything they can on the frozen tundra to force Caleb Williams to prove himself. The books post a super strong underline, similarly here, for DeAndre Swift. His line is just 49.5 yards, despite him posting 80, 90, and 125 yards in 3 of the last 4 games. This is a similar look to what I had with Bijan Robinson earlier in the show. We follow the signal here by the books. Take the under. That is DeAndre Swift, under 49.5 rushing yards. See you guys at Lambeau Field. And lastly, if you are tuned into my free picks channel, I likely will post a live free prop bet in the Packers-Bears game at halftime or possibly throughout the game, since I'll be there watching live. Good value, guys. Appreciate you. Love you. On to the next.
Rams at Cardinals.
We've got Sean McVay's Los Angeles Rams in a bounce-back spot here, heading to Arizona in the desert to take on the Cardinals. And we're actually looking at a bounce-back spot here for both teams, as the Rams played a dud at Carolina last week in a double-digit point upset by the Panthers. On the flip side, Arizona lost to Tampa Bay on the road, and they look to rebound at home here. So should be a good game. And newsflash, Jacoby Brissett is him. Guys, he's been absolutely wild this year. He has yet to lose us a bet this season. That is no exaggeration. Jacoby Brissett has not lost us a ticket in 2025. So we got to look at him. When you're this hot, you ride the man. And he's now cashed his passing yards over in literally every single game this season, including last week. And last week, we also took his passing touchdowns, which cashed as he put up 2. There are a few times where it's not blind, because I've watched the games and I love the guy, but you essentially can blindly ride him until he loses a bet this season. That's what I'm doing here. I am riding the hot hand. It's one of the best things you can do when you're seeing someone play this well. And the kicker for me too is Arizona's run offense is really not good. They don't run the ball well. He's playing lights out. Again, let me just recap this. Jacoby Brissett passing yards 7-0 this season. 7-0, has yet to lose. We ride it. I think he's going 8-0. Take Jacoby Brissett over 249.5 passing yards. Book it on day ass.
Texans at Chiefs.
We've got the Houston Texans taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. And guess what? This is the ride or die, baby.
Ride or die, remember?
Wet the lips here before we dive in. Transparently, last week's ride or die lost, as Bo Nix only had 1 passing touchdown. But you guys may have seen in my free picks channel just a couple days ago, I dished out the winner, the ride or die winner from 2 weeks ago. Their $200 Amazon gift card got delivered. Congrats again, Helena. I think it was Helena Russo. You're awesome. Congrats to another winner there. I want to dish out 200 more this week. So we are going with Rashee Rice over 68.5 receiving yards. He's cleared this line for the Chiefs in 4 of 6 games this year, and he's a monster in terms of just route running. He's a target monster. if you want to call it that. He's averaging 10 plus targets per game this year, and Kansas City is going to have to throw in this game. He can easily soar over this line. What should we do for comments? Let's make a play. Let's make a play on MC Hammer. I want to see some comments of Rice Baby. Yes, that is MC Hammer's old school song, Ice Baby. A play on the music here. All right, stop. Collaborate and listen. Ice is back with my brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, flowing like a harpoon daily and nightly. Would have stopped, yo? I don't know. Turn off the lights and I'll glow to the extreme or rock a mic like a vandal. Light up the stage and wax the chump like a candle. Dance. My martial speaker that booms. I'm killing your brain like a poisonous mushroom. Deadly. When I play. Okay, that's enough, Luke. These people are going to log off if you don't shut up. If you guys can't tell, I love a good old school MC Hammer. Again, please comment Rice Baby. It's Rashee Rice over 68.5 receiving yards. If that play cashes, trust me, I'm betting it myself. I always do. If it cashes, I'm sending $200 to one of you guys. Lock it in. Ride or die, baby. One of the last segments of the show, but one of the most important. We have our best bets. What is the max bet per se of the show? Last week we cashed Josh Allen with ease, under pass attempts. I'm following a similar trend. It doesn't have as large of a data sample size to back it, but it's a really good look at home. Jacksonville, they know they have to ground and pound to win against the Colts. Both teams love running the ball. I think clock is going to be eaten here, and I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to be asked to do too much. It's Lawrence under 32.5 pass attempts. He should be closer to 25 to 28. He's averaging 25 per game over the last 5 games or so. And again, they cannot ask him to do too much or they won't win against the Colts in a massive game. Best bet, Lawrence, under 32.5 pass attempts. I will see you at the window. Book it, baby. It is the pizza money parlay. Get out your pizza, your pepperoni, your sausage, your onion and green pepper, whatever you guys like. It's time to prop lock it, drop it. Dish you guys a 6-leg DGen pizza money parlay. We're going to rattle this off. I like to do it quickly because we've given out so many picks, and this is more of a for fun. So write these down, tap them into your parlay, and let's cash a wild ticket for you guys. So we're going to go Colts. That's Jonathan Taylor, anytime tutty. This one is the only one that's super juiced. I get it. He's going to score. He's supposed to score. So that is going to be hopefully an automatic green check. Jonathan Taylor, anytime tud. Geno Smith, Raiders, fade. So that's under 199.5 passing yards. I don't think he gets to 200 against a really good Broncos team in a game that they have to keep slow pace to stay in it. Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers, 200 plus passing yards against the Bears at home. I think he has to have a 200 plus for them to get the win here and be efficient in the passing game. So below that, RJ Harvey, 40 plus rush yards. I broke down his value earlier in the game. Matt Stafford, Rams, MVP Matty, 2 plus pass touchdowns. I think he really gets it done there on the road against Arizona. And then Mark Andrews for the Ravens, 3 plus catches. That is 6 plays. Should be about plus 1,600 odds. Again, that might be a little bit different come when you guys are watching this show a couple days later. But plus 1,600, give or take. Let's cash it. Prop lock it, drop it. Pizza money parlay. Well, guys, that's a wrap. We did it again. Cheers to you. Cheers to us. Fastest 20 minutes of NFL player prop breakdowns mixed in with some fun facts, data analysis, and a little bit of Miller Lite. Thank you guys again for listening. It truly means a lot. You can join my VIP team via link in description for just $99 pretty much through the end of the year. Thank you. Good night. Luke Shuey out.
Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Suffocation, no breathing. Don't give a fuck if I